Let's settle down for a second so I can talk to y'all for a second. I got a problem.
Fair use. Fair use.
The day before I got on the plane to come out here, me and my girl broke up. Yeah, we broke up. And it was over something really, really silly. Something we shouldn't have broken up over. But it is. It is what it is. We broke up, and here I am in Ethiopia tonight. Question. Is there anybody out there single? That broke up with a man and they looking for somebody else right now? You gotta be single. You gotta be single. Single ladies, put your hands in the air right now so I can see you.
Passport Bro theme song. Here we go.
It's so many. I'm confused. Single ladies, single ladies.
Passport Bro, stand up.
Now, I would like to get to know you and talk to you. Have a drink or something, and we can just have something to eat and just. But at the end of the conversation, I'm going to want you to come back to America with me. I know I am. So you got to be willing to split.
This is where we part ways. Don't bring them hoes back here. Do not bring them 304s back here. But continue.
The difference. Come to America and see me. I come out here to see you in Ethiopia. But it's so hard to get back and forth. Problem. How am I going to get you from Ethiopia to America?
Again, do not bring these 304s back here.
Let me think. I got it. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America.
Here we go.
America.
Here we go.
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Who wants to come back with us to America? To
America. Woo. Woo, I feel you, boy. First of all, Art man, I tell you, yo, you do know he did that off the top. You know he did that off the top. Pause. That was off the top. It's not like, especially on a live show. Trust me, I've been in a situation like that where people can't do things off schedule. Man, I'm telling you, He said, just give me something to work with. I got it. Man, R. Kelly is the king of R&B. No doubts about it. And no, he did nothing wrong. I will stand on that.
Back with Rob to America. America. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America. America. Beautiful. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Who wants to come back with us to America? To America.
All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's get to her. This lying ass bish. This so-called Dr. Cheyenne. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And yes, when I be dissing folks, I be mispronouncing their names on purpose. For certain people, right? To come on the Breakfast Club and say the lies that you speak. So disrespectful. So very misinformative. I don't know if that's a word. But Corey Holcomb's response back to it was perfect, in my opinion. The lies that you told on the GOAT of comedy, Corey Holcomb, you shall pay for that. You shall pay dearly. Right? We got the clips. I got the clips already set up for you guys. I do have the Breakfast Club set up. I'm not sure if I can actually play the video with the actual, visual. I might have to play it as a background audio only because I know they're stingy with the copyright. But we're gonna listen to what she says in a minute. She called Corey Holcomb a lot of things on the Breakfast Club that I was like, wow. I was like, are you serious? This is what we could do. We could just go on, national syndicate, radio and just lie. Okay. I guess that's what we doing. All right. If that's what we doing, all right. Cool. If this is what we doing, all right. That's crazy work, but that's fine. Anyway, also put a 1 in the chat if the audio's good. Just let me make sure. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio's good. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat if my microphone's good. We should be all right for this episode. We should be straight. You know what I mean? The other night, like, we started off crazy. Apparently, my mic sounded like it was underwater. Somebody had to let me know. Thank you, man. Somebody had to let me know, and I had to hear it on my phone. I was like, no. And I knew what was causing that. I had another camera installed to my thing, and I had to take it out. Pause. Right? But we won't start off directly on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. That will be a little bit later on, probably, in 15 minutes. But actually, let's set up the let's set up the groundwork. Let's set up the groundwork. Right? I'm gonna play the audio for you. Just real quick. I'm gonna play the audio. and then we will come back to the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant topic in a little bit. But let me just play a snippet from the Breakfast Club real quick. Just a snippet. Fair use, by the way. And this will be played at a higher speed to avoid copyright. And here we go. And like I said, I'm not going to show the screen. Because the Breakfast Club is really stingy on copyright and all this stuff, right?
Not having your degree and where you started off as I guess working in the strip club. Is any of that stuff?
You said you're not a real doctor.
You said, yeah, you're not a real doctor. About some internet rumors that I seen. Corey Holcomb said some things about you about not having your degree and where you started off as I guess working in the strip club. Is any of that stuff?
You said you're not a real doctor.
You said, yeah, you're not a real doctor.
No, so I have 4 degrees. 3 are in psychology, 1's in Pan-African Studies. My doctorate degree is in counseling psychology. My master's in marriage and child therapy. All degrees are in psychology. Where this Corey Holcomb thing comes from is I was on a show 10 years ago when I think it was before I even had my doctorate degree. And Corey is used to being able to be very disrespectful to women and do his thing.
You was on the show with him or just?
He was a guest on the show. I was co-hosting.
Okay.
He was a guest.
Mm-hmm.
And
here we go. Now, when she had started off that, this is how we're going to come back to this because I don't want to go straight into that story first. I don't want to go straight into that story first. But this is how she already started off, lying already. And notice when she was talking about Corey Holcomb in this video, right? So let me just show you a little overlay. Let me take the overlay off for you guys, just to let you know what's up, right? So the thing is with this interview, she's already going to create a narrative that Corey Holcomb was just a guest. And she doesn't even mention the show's name. That's how you know she's trying to disinform the people. So throughout her whole diatribe, the way that she's going to talk about Corey Holcomb, you know she's lying. Off rip, you know she's lying. But the show, just to let you guys know, the show that he was on, it's called The Zoe What Show. And I've talked about this show on my platform many times. I keep telling people a lot of the information that I have is because I would watch Corey Holcomb go on the Zoe What morning show and kill it. You know what I mean? That's where I get a lot of my info, a lot of my knowledge, especially when I was in college. Watching Corey Holcomb rip it, especially even after college, just seeing him go on this specific platform and just kill it, But back to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, we're going to play the audio a little bit more, and I'll probably let it play. Let me see if I can let it play out a little bit more. But I got to put this damn overlay on it. Because they're going to get people are going to get tight with the copyright thing.
I drilled his ass. To be honest, it's on YouTube. People could, look at it, and I cut into him and I said, "You seem like you are inferior to a white man. And you seem like you got daddy issues, and you seem like you got mommy issues, and you got kids that don't even talk to you or respect you. They don't like you. It tells a lot about your character." Now, this was 10 years ago, okay? And obviously, he's still.
So I have the video for that, to where she was allegedly saying these things, right? So this is the video that she's talking about. Now, what she was quote unquote going in on was nothing. Right? So this is the footage right here, but this footage didn't even make the official show, which was this, which I also have this open as well. I'm not going to play anything from this full episode of the Zoe What Show, because the rant, or basically where Corey and Cheyenne Bryant, when they were going at it, this didn't make the official footage. Zoe Williams would because they were going at it during the break. So they actually had filmed the break to where they were kind of quote unquote going at it, even though she didn't really say anything of importance, in my opinion. Right? So since she did say, because let me see the audience. What's the audience count? Damn, it's 56. 56 is the audience count. So we'll come back to that video. We'll come back to that video. We'll come back to the video where she said that she quote unquote ripped him. We'll come back to that. But anyways, let's let her continue. Let's keep my overlay is still on. All right, that's cool. We will keep the overlay still on.
Still when it's feminine because he's still holding a grudge over it. You know, this is like interviews are interviews. Are you saying we do them and you move on to the next? And so was very upset. And I felt like in that space, he was.
Since the overlay was on, let me just show you real quick. Sorry, I apologize. But right here, I do have this is the official footage right here that she's talking about. But it even make the show because her and Corey Holcomb, they were arguing during the break. But if you watch the full episode of that specific show, of the Zowat show, with Corey Holcomb and Cheyenne Bryant, she was basically agreeing with him most of the time. All right. So throughout most of the episode, she wasn't even really opposing what he was saying. Something happened between around the 40-minute mark of this episode where another guest had said something and Corey had slightly disagreed with the guest. So whatever he was disagreeing with, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was arguing with Corey Holcomb during the break about it. It never got it. But then once it was time to get back on air on the radio, they had to stop because that wasn't even part of the thing. But they videotaped the break, the argument during the break. So that's what you're going to see. And it wasn't a 12-minute argument. It's really like a minute. But they filmed every single breaks. They filmed every single break session from that particular episode, right? So a bit of an exaggeration from, Dr. Bryant there. And we'll get to that in a later time, what she's talking about right here. Here we go. Let's press play. Fair use again because the Breakfast Club is stingy as hell. And like I said, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is a liar. And I'm going to just leave it at that. I was going to say something else that was very mean.
Y'all could watch it. He was dumbfounded. Like usually he comes back with the, FUB or he has something to say. Or he's, he got a mouth. He was really just like, a deer with headlights. He was just like, oh my God. The interview person.
Lies. Just to let you know, lies. I've seen Corey Holcomb on the Zowat show. I spent like from 2017 through like 2018, or from like 2016 through 2018. I used to like scour Zowat's channel just to see every single Corey Holcomb like cameo. That's how enthralled I was with like the podcast that Zoe and Corey Holcomb would link up together. Everything that she said to Corey in that break, which didn't even make the air because she wasn't even brave enough to bring the argument to the air. Nothing she said dumbfounded him. Corey Holcomb was very respectful, very. It was normal. It was very insignificant. That's why I was laughing, because I was like, I remember Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I was like, I remember her. Oh, she would be on Zowat's show. Like, I remember seeing her a couple of times on the show with Corey Holcomb, but it was pretty insignificant because when I would listen to those episodes, I'll be playing video games or something and have that on in the background. So there wasn't really things that she was saying that was very significant. That's why I was confused when she was saying I checked Corey, because I'm like, what do you mean that break session that they had? I mean, that was nothing. But that's her in her idea, in her head. That's what she thinks will happen. But we'll continue.
The person podcast who was on, everybody else was in it, was like, we've never seen Corey be this quiet. We've never seen anybody be able to respectfully check him in this way.
Cap.
After we were done with the interview,
just to let you know, he like Zowat will be having on Zowat's channel, he be having all types of broads and bitches that be coming onto the show saying nothing. Like I've like anybody that's been on my channel before, They know I've been consistent on this. I've been very consistent on this. Let me bring up Zowat's channel again. Let me bring up his channel. Okay, let me open it up in a separate tab. All right. Open link in new tab. So please subscribe to Zowat's show, right? So before all, like Zowat was one of those first people on YouTube really doing that relationship podcast thing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he was like the first, but he was one of the first ones that I saw. You know what I mean? So he's been doing this for a long time. So I would see videos of Zowat, and he'd be having all types of 304s, women, professional women, spiritual counselors, all these fake people, whatever. He'd be having all these broads on the show, and it was, I don't think there was one broad on that show that said anything significant. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. Like I don't remember like one woman on there that said anything of significance where it would stump whoever was on the other side, whether it would have been Dr. Goldstein or comedian Jeff Brown or what's it, Tahuti Mahat Ra, whatever male guest that would be on, and there would be another female guest with him. Most of the women that be on the show, they be saying nothing, right? Zowat used to have a segment where he would have women on the platform, right? And I don't know if I can bring something up as an example. It would probably have to be a show from like 4 or 5 years ago where he would have like all these women on at the same time, and they would be saying nothing, right? Oh, okay. Let me give this. I don't know if I can.
I'm Zoe Williams.
But he would have shows like this, right? He would have these broads around. That's Mimi. If I don't remember, I don't know who this is. That's Tiffany. I remember her. So he would have shows like this, and usually it'll be like probably like more girls around there, and they would be saying nothing, bro. They would be saying absolutely nothing. So for Dr. Cheyenne Bryant to think that she was any different, I mean, like, I don't know what she on about. I have no idea what she on about. But hey, that's, if that's her version of events, that's her version of events. You know what I mean? But nothing I can do about that. But it's all good. It's all good. Let me check some of the chats before I move on. Sorry. Hey, Truth Hunter, what's up, bro? He said, love when she was found out, said she was a fraud in your Cam Newton live. People told me I knew nothing in other videos about this. Well, she's not even a doctor. That's already been proven amongst other YouTube channels. She's not even a practicing doctor. Like I remember when Corey Holcomb was first addressing her, he was like, where are your colleagues? he said where are your colleagues? He said it in that professional voice. But I'm like, that's fact. Like, where are where's your license? What do you have? This I bet you this bitch had like a PhD or something in like African studies at ICDC college or something. Like she has no proof of her works. At best, she's a life coach at best, and you already know life coaches are scam artists. So, like, I never got it. And Truth Hunter, just people don't want to do the research on her. You're just trying to hate on an educated black. Bruh, stop. She is a scam artist, right? And what's interesting with the Breakfast Club interview with her, what I found beautiful was when DJ Envy mentioned, are you a real doctor? She didn't even answer that question. She didn't even answer it. You know what I mean? She didn't even answer the question, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, Hey, shout out to Young Doka. What's up, bro? Oh yeah, yo, he's Young Doka. You saying facts? He said, "Dang, 70 people in here. Hit the like button, guys. Hey, hit something. Hit something, man. Hit something, man. Pause. Right. But before I keep playing that, let me get my overlay back up again. Stingy ass Breakfast Club and their fair use. Because I remember like one time I said something about Jess, hilarious, or whatever woman that was on the Breakfast Club platform. They put a whole thing on my channel. I was like, "Are you serious?" After all the pauses I was doing, you can't be serious. But whatever. Fair use again. We're gonna keep playing it. We're gonna let Dr. Cheyenne Bryant continue to lie her ass off.
We went to take a big picture on the backsplash, and I would walk up toward him. You know my personality, I'm very playful. I walked up, I'm like, let's take a picture. He wanted to film the picture. 10 years later, I think he looked at it with his failed comedian career, because he's been attempting his career for about 45 or so years with his failed.
Now, it's interesting you have such an opinion on his, comedy career. You say it's failing. You say there's nothing to it, but you seem a very keen interest in it. And by the way, just to let you know, when it comes to Corey Holcomb, the only reason why women hate Corey Holcomb and his if you hear a woman that says they don't like Corey Holcomb's comedy, or they say he's not talented, or they say he's not funny, it's because of his abortion jokes. That's why. that's it. Trust me. If you go to a Corey Holcomb show, there's plenty of women that go to his shows, right? Now I take offense for her saying his failed comedy career, because he's like every comedian's favorite comedian. Like, people know about him, bro. He's everywhere he goes, he sells out. Everywhere, every platform he goes on, he's one of the last of the real comics. I'm talking about he's one of the last ones. Like, when you talk about Bill Burr, you talk about guys like that. What's it, Dave Chappelle, right? He's one of the last of the real comics. These new comics now, I'm talking about, they're not even close to funny. Like, these new comics right now are straight hacks, because they got these people coming off of IG and Instagram. These people are not funny at all. Like, at all. Hell, you got a unfunny ass. Hold on for a second. Let me take this overlay off. You got an unfunny ass comedian on the Breakfast Club right now, Jess Hilarious. She's what? She's incredibly unfunny, like laughably unfunny. And she got a deep ass voice too. By the way, and that's another thing too. I hope the women don't get offended by this, but I'm sorry. There's not a whole lot of funny female comics out there. And to be fair to the women, they don't put great representatives out there. I do know funny women in real life, but most of them, they don't do comedy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean when I say that? So people, when I say, oh, there's no funny female comics, you say, well, you say women aren't funny. Well, yes, but I do know women in real life that are funny. Most women that are actually funny, they don't pursue comedy. And if they do, they get damn near all their jokes taken from them. Like, I'm talking about all of their jokes taken from him by some small hat wearing girl, if you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about, I know a lot of like small hats in the let me hold on, let me do I got that sound bite? You know, those people, you know. You know, those people, they be stealing mad people's jokes, particularly women of color. A lot of those female comics, the small hat female comics, they be taking a lot of people of color's jokes. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. There's just not a whole lot of female comics. Good female comics. The only one that I like, that I kind of respect, is some more. That's it. Everybody else is just like, it's not. They're just not funny, bro. Just not that funny. So that's another thing that's wrong with the comedy game too. So you'll have like those really quote unquote IG female comedians, right? Uh IG comedians that are female. They have a great following. They end up booking a show at a comedy club and people be walking out. Corey Holcomb is not exaggerating when he says stuff like that. I've seen that happen. I've talked to security guards at comedy clubs recently where these so-called A-list people or these A-list IG comedians, where the people will go out to see them and they will ask for a refund. Talk to the security. Talk to the security that work at these comedy clubs. I was just recently with my cousin. I talked about this, and we were the security. I'm not gonna say which comedy club it was, but me and my cousin we went to see Corey Holcomb earlier this year, and we was talking to the security guard. He said, "Oh yeah, DL Hughley came through." People were not happy, and I know I'm name dropping here, but the people that you think are the A-list people, they're people are not trying to pay their hardworking money to see that. This is just how it works. Like, even as a musician myself, if you are not that good or you put out a poor performance, yeah, they'll clap for you because they don't want to hurt your feelings, but they're not going to come out to see you again. Like, I had to learn that the hard way in a lot of my shows. Let me see. Educated Tyro, my bro. He says, "Why is this broad even respected? She's not a real academic or expert or a doctor, but they want to believe her because she says all the fancy words. But even then, when Corey Holcomb actually had a specialist come on the show, an actual licensed clinical social worker, and she was saying that the terminology that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was using, high functioning, low functioning. She said these are like terms that you use with kids with autism." And I was like, that sounds about right, because I was always confused about that term, high functioning, low functioning. But she was, in my opinion, the reason why she used those terms so she could avoid using the terms high value, low value, because then you're going to have to give credit to certain people in, a Kevin Samuels type dude. You're going to have to give credit to somebody in the manosphere, and she's not trying to do that. That was my opinion, because the term high value and low value has been used so much. She's just trying to be different. So she ends up using some terminology that she doesn't even know. Yeah. Slam Newton said Corey Holcomb abortion jokes are classics. Facts. When I go to a Corey Holcomb show, I be waiting in anticipation for just for that part of the show when he starts going in. Like, this dude got the most creative baby deletion jokes. So, by the way, any comic that you hear if you hear them start joking about baby deletion recently, they're stealing off of Corey, because he's the only one doing it. He is the only one doing it. Facts. Yes, shout out to Cornell Williams. He says, "I watched the 5150 show with my girl every week, Corey the Truth." I've been watching the 5150 show every Tuesday since, I want to say, 2017 or 2018. But before 2018, he would do the live streams on Ustream, and then he would drop the video the next day. So I used to basically be waiting every other, week to watch a Corey Holcomb show. So in 2018, that's when he started doing the live stream on YouTube every Tuesday. Ever since then, it's been a wrap for me. It's been a wrap. Right? Let me see. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Pyro. Truth Hunter said for her, it's who she's blowed and knows. Educated, let me see. Let me read this better, because I'm not a good reader. He says, for her, it's who she blowed and knows. Educated, she blowed for her degrees, and she blowed for respect. And that's a big possibility for her. There's plenty of women I know that I have observed. They've done that. They've done that. Like, I'm seeing 304s with PhDs, bro. Like that's what I've been seeing that for the past like 10 years. I've been seeing 30 like straight 304s with PhDs. And I'd be like, what's the PhD in? African studies, basket weaving, gender studies. I'm like, what the hell are you gonna do with that? But they like to, it's not really a whole lot of broads that are picking degrees that is actually gonna do something. And even then, say if you have a girl that's actually a woman that's actually picking a degree where she can earn money, she ends up not even and then what ends up happening when she becomes an adult, she ends up just quitting her job. first sign of resistance, or if she gets pregnant or she finds a husband, she ends up leaving that job. So I'd be wondering, maybe all these incentives that they put in for women to get these certain positions in certain stuff, I'm like, is it even worth all that hassle? Especially the amount of New York chicks I know that be let me not expose my dating life here. Anyways. Educated Tyrone said the few women that are funny don't do comedy. Facts. That's just been my experience. That's been my experience. Oh, shout out to South Holland. What up, CM? What's up, bro? Young Doka said Bill Burr is hilarious, but the only thing that annoys me about him is sometimes he be grifting, being overly liberal. Well, that's because he has a black wife. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. So no disrespect to Bill Burr, but because he has a black wife and a very liberal black wife, that I may add, it is what it is. Can't do nothing about it. Randy Watson said Melanie Camacho is funny. Not to me. And it's no disrespect. I don't really find most comedians funny. Like, I don't even find DL Hughley funny, dog. I don't really, obviously he has a following for a while. I don't really find him funny. I always, I always bring it back to the point of that clip when it was Dave Chappelle and DL Hughley at that Netflix Def Jam Comedy Awards, and they were presenting, and like Dave Chappelle just completely outshines him, and DL Hughley tries to make a whack ass black joke. He's like, oh yeah, like when you're younger and if you say something back to your mom and you get the taste slapped out of your mouth, and Dave Chappelle just bunts. He's like, well, my mother didn't hit. Anyways, that was brilliant. That was brilliant from Dave Chappelle. And by the way, Corey Holcomb, Corey Holcomb said Dave Chappelle be bombing. And I've done some of the research. He does from time to time. So even he's not spotless. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's just a matter of taste. I find I think Dave Chappelle's funny. I think Dave Chappelle's funny, right? I think Cat Williams is funny, right? I think yeah, those guys are funny, but Bernie Mac, you don't get a whole lot of Bernie Macs no more. Like Bernie Mac was a true king, a true legend, of the game. But I don't want to get too off topic. I don't want to get too off topic. I don't want to get too off topic. Oh, and shout out to you. What's it, Kelvin Davis? He said this chick is obviously scorned. She wants men to kiss her shoes. By the way, she's like over 40. She ain't got no kids. Well, she ain't keep any kids, but she ain't got no kids. At like over 40, she's still looking for a fairy tale. Like when I see her, she reminds me of Claudia Jordan. I don't know if you know who that is, but Claudia Jordan, she's like 48. And I remember her talking, like she was on camera talking to her boyfriend, talking about, oh, I still want to have kids someday. And then I remember Michael Black's was like, is she 48? What's she talking about? But these chicks, they live in La La Land, especially like women that like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, Claudia Jordan, like women like that have been like pretty most of their lives, that have gotten with most of the men that they've wanted to get with, and they still have like nothing to show for it. Lisa Ray, these people. It's kind of hard for me to feel bad for somebody like that.
Comedian career, his failed marriage, and I'm not saying this to be mean. Y'all can just research
Jesus
it. It's
Christ,
true.
Doc, go
And
ahead.
his failed parenting skills with his kids, because none of those people deal with him.
Yeah.
I think he looked at it like I get to.
Well, you can't really diss Corey on his failed marriage, because he talks about his marriage failing on his platform literally every other week. That's the thing. Like, he jokes about it. He talks about his pain. He talks about his kids, his relationship with his kids. He talks about it on his platform anyways. So for her to even bring it up shows that she doesn't really pay attention, and she's only triggered by Corey Holcomb, just him in general, because Corey Holcomb was probably one of the few black men, forget just men in general, one of the few black men that spoke his mind about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Women like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant don't get told the truth. And Corey Holcomb is one of the few people to be like, look, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, dudes have you around because of how you look. Bottom line. No, you're probably not even a real doctor. That's probably one of the few black men in America that's going to say that to her or to her face. Like, that's like, I'm talking about few, forget men in general, just black men in general. They're not going to say the truth to a woman like this, to a woman that you see on the screen, because they're trying to mess with her, because black dudes usually like women that look like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? So they're not going to tell a woman like that the truth, even though if she's saying something completely insane, like something completely stupid, they're not going to say anything, because they want to sleep with her. Bottom line. Bottom line. And that's I wish men could also get past. I hate it when men don't speak their mind just because they think a woman's not gonna sleep. Sleep. And that joint is crazy to me. But that's just me. That's just me on that end.
To kill two birds with one stone, which was smart. I get to humiliate her back in some kind of way, which it didn't work, or I get to ride on her back because she's going viral. I don't have a career. I do. He doesn't have a career. So
You got a good comedy career.
And shout out to Charlamagne the God for sticking up for Corey Holcomb here.
He does stand up. He just stays in 5150, the big podcast, and he does stand up.
Wait,
where you
no.
be at?
What?
Where you be at?
Thank you.
Oh,
We back.
go ahead.
She got a good career, but we back. So
And just to let you know, Jess Hilarious, she's trying to get her shots in, because I remember Corey Holcomb called out Jess Hilarious for, in Corey Holcomb's words, Jess Hilarious was busting down for the game in front of her son. That's I don't remember verbatim what he said, but he bottom line, he called her out for taking a picture with her son with both of them naked. No, she was naked with her infant son, and he called her out for taking a picture like that. And Jess Hilarious took it really personal. And Corey Holcomb has called out Jess Hilarious for basically not being a good stand-up comic. And when Jess Hilarious comes into town, she's bombed many times, where I'm talking about where Corey Holcomb has revealed where certain places where she has performed, dudes was walking out and not paying their tabs because they refused to pay for what they saw, right? So Jess Hilarious is gonna obviously take her shots back. And it's okay, because Corey Holcomb did rip her a new one. But I don't know why people be crying when Corey Holcomb has his opinion on somebody. Like he like when he has an opinion, right, on somebody, it's not like he's just doing it just to that person. It's just his opinion, and I this is why I do find somebody like a Corey Holcomb fascinating, right? A star DJ Star, another guy. These guys, let me give a shout out to Undead Chronic, right? these guys, they're basically equal opportunities, like equal opportunists when it comes to shit talking. But for some reason, when the ish talking targets them for just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's like it's the end of the world for them for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. But, but that, maybe coming from me, I used to have, people, when I was a kid, go at my ass, pause, for just existing. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about, I didn't have people sticking up for me. I'm talking about very few people. So I sometimes I'll admit I can get a bit how do I say this? It doesn't faze me if the average person is talking about somebody making fun of them for a choice that they made in life. Right? So a person will make a choice in life, they get made fun of about it, and then they'll cry about somebody making fun of them for the choice that they made. I'm like, well, at least they're not making fun of like something that you can't change. Like you'll be like fat women getting mad because somebody called them fat. Or I'll be like, well, you kind of chose it. you you kind of chose that lifestyle. So I don't know why you're complaining, but this is where my compassion has to come in. I go, well, you can't talk to people like that, right? But that's just from my standpoint. But I do find it a bit funny where you'll have certain guys, they like Corey Holcomb, he's a talker, he's a comedian. He runs a podcast, he talks for a living. That's literally how he makes money. People pay to hear what he has to say because he usually speaks his mind. Usually, right? And there's a lot of people that hold grudges against a guy like a Corey Holcomb for speaking his mind. Keep that in mind when you hear people try to take pot shots at a guy like a Corey Holcomb, right? Just keep that in mind. Same with with DJ Envy. DJ Envy tried to was slick with his, what he was trying to say, but that's because he's mad because Corey Holcomb kind of called him. Well, he didn't call him out, but Corey Holcomb came on the platform. He said, I could never be monogamous to one one woman. And DJ Envy was feeling a type of way because he got in trouble for cheating on his wife. So it is what it is.
The point is, I think that he did, and this part I'm not knocking him for. He did what any, to me, career-oriented business person is supposed to do. I see an opportunity. Let me take it. Let me create a narrative. But what happened was, all it did was bring more attention to damn Dr. Bryant. So all people did was research me more, which is what I wanted them to do. All people did was find out for themselves. She is a real doctor. She has these degrees. She's been doing this for a long time.
You're not a real doctor. Stop it. This bitch got like a PhD in like African studies or something. this she's not even she's not I don't even think she's even licensed or like in terms of a practicing doctor. You know what I mean when I say that? Like she does, like Corey Holcomb said, where are your colleagues? These people want to always put doctor next to their name. By the way, just to let you know, real doctors, right, or people that actually make a difference in the medical field, like in the actual medical field, or in just life. If they have a PhD in whatever sciences, whatever social sciences, even though that's a bit worthless. But if you have somebody that has a PhD and is actually making a real difference in the world, most of the time, if you ask them, yo, what should I address you as? Most of the time they'd be like, oh, just call me Tom. Oh, just call me Angie. Just call me so and so. They don't even really, when they're talking to the average person, they're not telling you it's Dr. Sam. It's Doctor. You call them, you'll call them Samuel or whatever. It's Dr. Sam. Like guys like that or women like that, usually their credentials isn't legit. You know what I mean when I say that? So if a lot of people put certain titles to their name because they think it makes them a little bit more important than they actually are. And a lot of the times, if you do research behind how they got those titles, you'll be like, oh, this isn't even legit. So, you gotta be careful about you gotta be careful about that.
This woman started off from Teen Mom, a family reunion, which we were the biggest show on MTV. She not only was the on-camera life coach doctor for that show, she co-produced it and developed the show. So what happened was,
to be a life coach is nothing to me.
he brought attention to where people were able to go in and do what I wanted them to do, which was research more of me, get more background on me, and say, hey, let me make my own opinion about her. And again, as my really good friend Shaquille O'Neal says, which is one of my, we become pretty much like best friends now.
By the way, Shaq loves Corey Holcomb, so I don't know why she decided to name drop Shaq like that's her friend. But just to let you know, Shaq loves Corey Holcomb. Anyway, let's continue.
Now he's like, Doc.
No, Shaq. I think didn't Shaq say he has like Corey in his like top 5 comedians of all time or something like that? I could be wrong, but I would have sworn I heard him say that on a podcast as well, where they asked him like his top 5, like Mount Rushmore. He had Corey Holcomb up there. I was surprised, but Shaq did have Corey on his comedy special thing, and he tore that thing up.
He's like, he says, I hate when he says it, but I love it. He goes, Doc, trust fund babies don't give attention to the ones who have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, so let the good and bad attention do what it does for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let it do what it does.
That's right.
And I'm not a trust fund baby. But what Shaq is saying is, when you hear and they hear, all it does is magnify you.
Yeah.
Right?
By the way, the people in general, even the haters of Corey Holcomb, they have more respect for a Corey Holcomb than you. Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Corey Holcomb did not need you to get famous. Corey Holcomb was one of the few dudes that's out there in the mainstream. Well, I can't say Corey Holcomb's mainstream, but he was one of the few people in the entertainment industry that was willing to question your credentials. And he's one of the few dudes that are brave enough to say, dads don't create broken families. Most dudes are afraid to say stuff like this in public because they're worried about not getting no punani. Right? So Corey Holcomb says the things that most men are afraid to say. So of course, most women that don't have an open mind, they're gonna find him brash. Right? Like I'll take even a guy who I don't really like that much, Tommy Sotomayor, right? He says things that you don't hear black dudes say, especially I'll say pre-2019. Tommy Sotomayor would say things that just you're not going to hear black men saying. You're not. Black men are not even going to run the risk of saying the stuff that Tommy Sotomayor would say in the past. So if he talks or if he says what he says, the average mind, the average folk are going to get, they're just going to be shocked. They're just going to be shocked. That's just what it is. When I would do podcasts with my cousin, right? They would be shocked. The broads would be shocked. My cousin's girls still shocked about the stuff that I'd be saying at the time, because it's not just because of dudes are not usually say, they just don't hear. Come on, like how many black dudes are forget dudes, because I try to focus on black men. Pause. How many black dudes are brave enough to say deadbeat dads are a myth? What black dude is gonna say that out loud? You have black dudes afraid to even say that they support Trump. I mean, Orange Man, right? That's how, or just to say that they're Republican. That's how, marginalized a certain voice can be in a community, right? So when they hear black dudes, but I would say specifically black dudes with a different perspective, it throws off the average like black woman, right? Or even the average woman in my I'll say in my experience. Okay. Let me finish this off.
The small dog has to stay in the small dog park.
Pause, by the way.
They're just not allowed in the big dog park. The big dogs can go to the small dog park, and we dominate either way.
Would you have a conversation with Corey now? Like, would you go on 5150 or have him on Truth Talks or something?
I would not, only because Corey's, and I'm only talking about this on here because when I did Nick and other interviews and Dish 8, other places I've interviewed with, who are also as big as Breakfast Club. Well, who's bigger than Breakfast Club though? Y'all got it. But I also told him, I said, I'm not going to address it. Period. I don't want to bring any attention to him or give him the fume that he needs because again, Charlamagne.
Again. Let's continue.
I hear what you're saying, but he has a total failed career. A total failed career as a comedian.
Really? The ones that get offended the most by Corey Holcomb's comedy career, the people that get offended by Corey Holcomb's what he has to say about them, they always try to attack his career. Even remember when Corey Holcomb and Ryan Davis fell out for a little bit? And then Ryan Davis came on like another platform like a month later, talking about Corey Holcomb says the same thing at his shows that every single time. I'm just sitting there like, Ryan Davis, just say that you hurt and you just move on, bro. Yo, man. Anyway.
Is he funny? There's some things he says, yes, that are funny. Has he made it to any place past a podcast of a group of men who agree with just a rhetoric that's just a very negative, distorted narrative of Black people in general, especially women? Kevin Samuels spent only 2 years doing what Corey does and had a better career than Corey. Corey been doing it for 40, 50 years. He was at Improv in LA and can't even get a job there. So that doesn't go to him.
That's very disingenuous. Guys like Kevin Samuels, right? These people in the manosphere, there would be no manosphere without a Corey Holcomb. There would be no manosphere without a Bill Bear or Red Pill, right? Whatever we want to call this stuff, right? Whatever you want to call the stuff that we do. There would be no Kevin Samuels without Patrice O'Neal. There would be no, or Tom Likas, right? Or even Tommy Sotomayor. There would be none of this space without those guys. And guys like that, when you're talking about a Corey Holcomb, Patrice O'Neal, because even the average people that don't pay attention, they're gonna say, "Oh, Patrice O'Neal has a quote unquote failed career." Like Patrice O'Neal didn't get the love that he got until he passed away. People forget. He didn't get the recognition that he deserves only until he passed away. So in terms of, because people like to always just talk about the numbers, who's more popular. There's a lot of comedians that owe their career to Corey Holcomb and these people. But I will say this, especially when we talk about this space, when you want to talk about a man space or manosphere, barbershop talk, red pill, whatever you want to call it, there would be no red pill without Corey Holcomb or Patrice O'Neal or Bill Burr or Chris Rock, right? These guys really put their stuff on the line to give a man's point of view, because a man's point of view, that's not something that they're gonna put on TV. That's not something that the family court system, right? The court system in general, the police, right? This is not something that they can profit off of. So she's wrong here. But anyways,
his comedic abilities, that goes to his lack of character. Nobody want to work with you.
Yeah.
You have gifts and you have professionalism. You gotta have both to make it.
Corey is just a broken person, period. And I do feel like you'll need help. He needs help.
Corey needs off camera. Corey came to me and said, "Doc, let's
you see, and oh, by the way, this is why I tell you therapy, or if you hear people talking about you need therapy and all this stuff, don't listen to them. You see how to see how they meant to try to minimize you or to try to silence you. You see what they say? You need therapy. You need help. You need counseling. You see how anybody that's been following my channel, haven't I been saying this? Haven't I been saying this? Anytime they try to minimize you, they try to or try to act like you ain't saying nothing. They always say that same thing. Oh, this guy, he needs help. He needs special help and counseling. Haven't I not been saying? I keep telling you. That's why I say, oh, don't even go to these counselors, these so-called therapists, because these people are off their head. First of all, you already know she's out her rabbit ass mind, thinking she has a bigger influence than Corey Holcomb. That's crazy. That's crazy work. Second of all, pay attention. Pay attention to how people like this talk. When they don't agree with what you say, oh, he needs help. He needs counseling. He needs guidance. Oh, really? Yeah, you could guide these nuts in your mouth. And yes, I'm talking to you, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Exactly. Shout out to Truth Hunter. It's the classic "Who hurt you?" Corey Holcomb is a broken man. Oh, hey, here you see. This is it's the classic default response. The classic default response. The classic default response. Hold on for a second. Truth Hunter, he says, yo, Chris, 1 year in school, this one guy came at me for nothing, so I gave him something by telling him, if you keep this ish up, I'll give your mom a son to be proud of. Oh, yeah, by the way, I've heard dudes say that, and now, here's the funny thing about that response. I've heard a woman now, they try to use it. So basically, they like, it'll be like a dude argue with them online, so they'll reply back, I'll F your dad and give him a child to be proud of or whatever. And I'm like, so now now they're using this. I'm like, damn, y'all just be stealing. Y'all just be stealing. I remember dudes were saying that a dude said that back in the day. Oh man. Hold on for a second. Make sure I didn't miss nothing to the chat. Hey, shout out to Reaper. Shout out to Reaper, man. Educated Tyrone said lawyers went through way harder schooling than her and don't ask to be called lawyer or JD all day. Facts. It'd be like the actual accomplished people or the actual accomplished, psychologists, right? Or people that work in the, I call it the pseudosciences. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but people that have actually made an impact in that sector that actually deserve to, flaunt the PhD. They just be like, they literally be like, don't call me doctor. Just call me by my first name. Yeah. Like for the most part. And that's just it, and it's not just me alone. It's not just me alone. It seems like that's the universal experience. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is how you know she doesn't even know what the manosphere is, or what the red pill space is. As soon if you hear anybody start talking about this space, and then the first thing they talk about is Kevin Samuels, they're lost. Like they're complete. Like I'm talking about completely lost. No disrespect to Kevin Samuels, but like that's no. That's no. Like I don't like. I remember being on Coach Greg Adams' channel, right? Being in the live streams and seeing Kevin Samuels typing. We're talking about 2019, 2018. You know what I mean? Like I remember seeing Kevin Samuels typing, being in the super chats of these manosphere people's, like seeing him in Obsidian's chat and all these people. All these people. So they have no idea. They have no idea what it is, man. Yeah, who hurt you? But yeah, as soon as they start saying that, who hurt you, and oh, you're a broken man, and what happened to your childhood, and all this shit. You know what I like to do though? I'll be messing with people when especially when women say that who hurt you stuff. And then I'll be like, man, I knew these women in high school, man. And then they be thinking I'm about to say a sob story. I remember they told me to stay away from these hoes and I didn't listen. They told me so much and I didn't listen. And they have nothing to say when I say that. Because it's true. Like, it's true. It's a lot of women that put me up on game when I was younger, but I thought they were being extreme. Women, mind you. Women. Homie, like I remember working, and I remember a girl literally told me like, "Yo, you need to get your roster." I'm like, "What are you talking about, a roster?" You're like, she's like, "No," like she goes, "Oh no, I got my roster. Like you need a roster." He said because she said them other girls they got rosters, and I'm like, "How am I?" I'm like, "I can barely get one. What are you talking about, a roster?" She was laughing, but she's like, "You better get your roster up." Same thing happened to a male relative of mine. I'm not going to be specific. Girls was telling him, though, you gotta get your roster up because them other broads, they got rosters. Anyways, it's the funniest thing because they be saying, "Who hurt you?" And that's what I say. And so I'm like, so how bad do you want to shame men? Do you want to shame men so much to the point that you want to call other women a liar? How bad do you really want to prove me wrong? How bad? How bad do you want to prove me wrong? That's how I go at it. Reaper said, RIP, but Kevin Samuel's a grifter. Technically, yeah. Technically, yeah, but he's passed away, so I don't want to. Oh, I'm not trying to literally kick on his grave, but a lot of people don't realize a lot of Kevin Samuel's talking points came from other people. It's the same people that they want to say like Myron is so great. No disrespect to Myron, but Myron is just he's just really good at repeating other people's talking points. No disrespect to Myron Gaines as well, but I'm not lying. I'm not lying when I say this.
Off camera sessions, 100%. 100%. If he wants to do it on camera because it's just going to be a rhetoric, I'm not doing that to help his career. I will help him as a man, but I'm not here to help him in his career. That's his job. I'm not here to carry a man.
Uh-oh. I guess this is another woman that you know how women be like, I outgrew him. She thinks she's I outgrew Corey Holcomb. Bish, who are you? What are you talking? That's another thing that when women say that stuff, that makes me laugh. They be like, so why did you divorce him? Or like, why did you leave him? I outgrew him. You did what? They're always thinking they're bigger than somebody. And homie, like, because it's unfortunate because Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and I know hold on for a second, because you see the picture of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant right here, right? We see the forehead. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. She got a little bit of the side A thing going on over here, but when she was younger, even in when she was in her 30s, she was still considered to be a very attractive woman. Well, to black men, right? No disrespect. So women like that don't really get told the truth. So a woman like that if nobody's ever telling you you're wrong, and you have all these dudes just wanting to sleep with you, so they're just willing to always just be around you or just have you on the show and whatnot, just for you existing. There's no way. And she has what? She got like 1 million followers on Instagram, right? Or something like that. Correct? So a woman like that, you can't tell her nothing. She probably thinks she's smarter than Einstein himself if he was alive. That's why most dudes can't even tell women anything, because in their mind, like, what? I got all these options. I got dudes trying to, and I got this degree. They in their mind, most men can't tell them nothing, even though the truth is right there in their face. Like, for example, when you take the election, you ask the average broad, so why do you hate Orange Man again? Oh, he's gonna take away our rights. Well, he didn't even say, like, he said he wasn't going to take away baby deletion. He's just say he was going to leave the rights up to the states. So he's not going to get rid of it. So is there something else that you want from him or want him to do? He's going to take away our rights. Okay. You're just like, all right, okay. You know, but that's like the average mind. And they'll just, and it's not like they're going to change, right? They're just going to be like, well, I'm right. And they're just going to they're going to keep getting the validation. People wonder, right, man, why you got all these fat chicks that are so confident and all that? Because dudes still want to smash them. Dudes still want to be around them, and they still have dudes willing to sleep with them. And for them, that's enough. That's enough of validation for them to be like, well, I'm right. It is what it is. So, you know, that's the reality that we got. So now a woman, pause, like a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? She, who, you know, you probably got, you know, 30-year-old or, you know, thirsty 20-year-old black dudes, you know, athletes, right? That she likes to brag about, that she be sleeping with. So in her mind, she does no wrong in her mind. In her mind, you can't tell her anything. What are you gonna say to her? Like, what are you gonna say to a woman like that? Like, she's gonna have to hit the wall. Like, I'm talking about full throttle. Meaning a doctor's literally gonna have to come into her and be like, ma'am, you can't have kids. What do you ma'am, you can't have kids. Sorry. And just walk away. Like you're giving her an HIV diagnosis or something. Like that's how full throttle for her, for a woman like a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant or a Claudia Jordan. That's what it's gonna have to take for them to be for them to finally stop and be like, wait a minute here. What went wrong? You know what I mean? Like that's what it's gonna have to, that's what it would take for somebody like a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? Let me see if I missed any comments. Truth Hunter said, I outgrew him, even though I need his money to survive still. Yeah, shout out to Educated Tyrone. He said Myron Gaines has never said an original thought. Facts. Everything that you think that's significant that he said, it came from somebody else. Like literally most times when I hear Myron talk, those are facts. And by the way, even like when it comes to like, you know, Andrew Tate, right? He's just saying things that I already heard, like my grandfather already said. No disrespect, but it's just like, yeah, but you know, those are just the guys that just got famous. And how you get famous is just off of algorithm stuff, you know, by chance, off the algorithm. Young Doka says she thinks she's gonna carry Corey's career. I want to have what she's smoking. But by the way, I remember Jess Hilarious saying similar 6 years ago when Corey Holcomb and Jess Hilarious got into it. You know, that's just especially like women like that. They really think they're hot shit. You can't say nothing to somebody like that, man. You can't say nothing like that. Young Doka said, as black men, we need to raise our standards for all age ranges. Then doctors like her would shut up. But it's impossible. That's in my opinion, is impossible. There's too many dudes still willing to sleep with fat women. There's still too many dudes being thirsty for older MILFs, quote unquote. I'm talking about Tyrones I know, like zero standards. So it's just like what can you tell somebody like that? What can you tell somebody like that? So let me continue on. See if I can finish.
Man that ain't mine, or flow of man that ain't mine. But to help you with your mental health or help you as a person, he's an alcoholic, he drinks a lot, you know, he's overcompensating in those areas. Those are places he needs help with. Did you guys?
Now, those are lies. Corey Holcomb is not an alcoholic. I'm not sure where she got that from. I hope she's not getting that from like his comedy shtick. Like, you know what, like when you have comics, they will act like they're taking a sip so they can act like they're like that old drunken comic that's telling the truth, quote unquote. That's a shtick. That's just something that they use. It's part of the shtick. So I hope that's not what she's using as her frame of reference on saying that Corey Holcomb's an alcoholic. That's, first of all, that's damn near close to slander, but we'll that's a whole nother point. Corey Holcomb's like old school as hell. This dude doesn't smoke, drink. This dude don't even have tattoos, bro. Like Corey Holcomb is old school as hell, bro. I don't know what she's talking about.
I see what he looked like on Cam Newton interview. I'm not talking about looks meaning attractiveness. Yeah. Do you see how unwell, hygienically clean he looks?
God damn, all right, Dr. Bryant.
No, let me say what. No, this ties into mental health. You know this.
She's an assassin.
I mean, the chopper is out.
But this is not tying into mental health, right? You ran it back.
You're not tying it to mental health. You're just trying to diss the man. You're just trying to diss the man. Like I said, these are the first complaints I've actually heard of Corey Holcomb talking about him being quote unquote not hygienic. That's the first time I ever heard that. So that's just her just trying to add certain things in there. And since she lied about the alcoholic thing, so I'm pretty sure she's lying about most other things too.
Actually, an amazing organized mental health expo.
Thank you.
I was so honored and privileged to be there. It was amazing. But I want to say thank you that we know that keeping up your hygiene is one of the number one symptoms to depression. The number one way you're able to see that somebody's depressed or in their addiction or overcompensating in addictive behaviors is how they keep themselves up. That's how parents could look at their kids and be like, you're not bathing? Your hygiene is not up to par? What's going on? That man's hygiene was on negative 200. What I'm saying is he needs deeper help than me coming on 5150 to bring him a bigger audience.
You need prayer. You need guidance. You need Jesus.
Still do 5150, but he needs to be able to 5150 himself and get the help that he needs.
Lord have mercy.
That's right.
That's, first of all, that's the wrong. Are you sure? People need to research her degree. First of all, that's not the proper term of 5150. 5150. It's a code name for lunatic or crazy, right? That's what his show is about, is just him talking about crazy-ish. That's I swear to they be selling these degrees. They be giving these chicks degrees. They be selling these things, bro. Remember, like all these nurses that got caught in Florida with like fake like RN certificates or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's happening on a large grand scale of things when it comes to like colleges and stuff like that. And
you were talking earlier about growing up in the wrong environment and you learn what not to do. And I think that is difficult.
Oh yeah, and that's the end. That's the end of it. But right here, I have the footage, the behind the scene footage of the quote unquote owning of Corey Holcomb, right? So right here.
Some heavy motherfuckers in. Okay. Y'all better be on your goddamn best behavior.
What you just described as tantric.
Oh, hold on. Let me take the overlay off, and I'm gonna let you guys see something real quick. Let's put this full screen. Let's take the overlay off. Okay, we have quote unquote evidence number one, I guess, of her owning Corey here. Here we go.
What you just described as tantric is, for me, it's just way down south. You know, it's like way down south.
To you, it's traditional sex.
Not even traditional.
Not traditional.
We weren't trained that way.
But everything's learned behavior is the word you learn it from. Because everything's learned behavior is the word you learn how to have that type of intimate
Well, it started with I never knew when you go.
You have to get one. Who pays over with you and they make it the way you said it.
You know what? I'm tired of the regimentation. I'm really looking for something
deeper than the physical.
Now you got both of that because you know you can talk to somebody and be attracted to that voice, the sound of the voice, the demeanor. You know, just a lot of intangibles. You know, all that comes together.
Okay. Video.
If you have the power, then you don't. If you think you have power, then you do.
Okay, so this is where they were talking right here. Let's slow it down a little bit because she was talking hella fast, right? Here we go. Fair use, by the way.
Video. All these
If you
people.
have no power, then you
Whoa, do I have it on slow? Oh no, we good.
don't. If you think you have power, then you do. That's the manifestation in
That's some
itself.
female stuff. When you
No,
think you got power,
that's
but you
the
don't.
manifestation
The only thing you can do is
itself.
run and go tell the white people when you mad at your brother,
Black men
and then
have
they come at
inferiority
you.
complex, and they
No,
think
they
the way
don't.
you said it.
Black men
That's
are
inferiority
creators of
complex.
society.
That's inferiority complex. The way you
Right in
just
your
said.
house.
That's inferiority complex.
Listen.
We got one white man on this show. One white man on this show.
But Cheyenne.
We can talk about them for 100 years. They don't talk about us. Watch Dr. Phil. Turn on Dr. Oz. They don't discuss
We
us.
don't watch Dr.
We don't.
Phil.
You know what?
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil is on a platform. Dr. Oz is on a whole network, a Black Women's Network, who pays Oprah Winfrey. She makes money off of it.
Oprah Winfrey is a black
On the
woman.
cameras. An inferiority complex comes from a black man who says, we don't need the government, we don't need a white man. Instead of saying, Mark, I'm Cheyenne. How can we do business together? How did you do it? What did you do? Now I'm about to take over. That's the
Whatever he did to
recipe.
his business, you won't be allowed to do it.
That is not true, Mark. Is that true? From your perspective, be honest. Is that true? He's a white man. Ask him. Is it
Why are
true?
you asking him?
Why not? That's
You
the
ask him
problem.
whatever you want to
But
ask him.
that's
I
the
ain't gotta
why
ask
don't you ask him? Are you inferior to him?
him.
Why can't you have a conversation with
Talk about
him?
inferior.
Because that's the
You keep
mind
using
state.
that
That's
word.
the
That's a
mind state.
disrespectful word.
That's my point. That's the mind
You
state,
keep
though,
saying
Corey.
somebody is disrespectful.
Oh, guys,
I'm making
It's the
here we go.
mindset, though.
I'm not an imaginary
Hey, listen.
doctor. I'm not an imaginary nothing.
But he's not
I'm real.
either.
Everything
I'm
I
not
say,
either.
I really am that person. I'm
This
not
thing has
imaginary.
turned.
But a lot of people are imaginary.
Fair use, by the way. Fair use. Let me see. Oh no, let me keep it playing.
I
This
agree
thing
with
has
you on that.
turned.
No, I
Put
said I
doctor in front of
agree.
their name to make them feel like they're doing something.
And make them feel like they're in
Imaginary
control
people
and that
in
they
the
have
world.
power, right? And make them feel like they have power, right, Corey? I agree with
But
you.
when you open your mouth, people learn a lot about you.
They do.
So
That's what I was just saying. Is
keep
that
chasing
when
the
we
government
speak,
and making them happy.
when we
You
speak
keep doing that.
about,
Because there's
again,
people like me
when we-
who don't give a fuck about the
and that's the
government.
problem. And
All
that's
right.
the challenge.
Listen,
That's
we're
the
back
issue.
live. We're
When
back
the black
live.
culture talks
Hold on.
about not giving a fuck about the government, there is an issue because that's where drug dealing comes in at. That's where the community degrading comes in at.
Cheyenne, this is the Zoe Williams show. Hey, y'all, this is Zoe Williams.
So this is the part that actually did get aired. Now, that's the part where Jeff Brown kind of raises his voice and tells everybody, "Yo, quiet down. We off break. We off break." So that's the part that actually got aired on the show, like around this mark right here.
The problem. And
All
that's
right,
the
listen,
challenge.
we're
That's the
back live.
issue.
We're
When
back
the black
live.
culture talks
Hold
about
on.
not giving a fuck about the government,
Hold
there is
on.
an issue because that's where drug dealing comes in at. That's where the community degrading comes in at.
Cheyenne, this is the Zoe Williams show.
no.
Hey, y'all, this is the Zoe Williams show. Hey, Zoe Williams, talk on the goddamn Zoe Williams show when you walked in.
Thank you.
Your
The
government put
name wasn't
drugs in
on
the
the
black
fucking
community.
sign.
Thank you.
This is not Harold's Chicken. This is not Carl's Jr. God damn it. This is the McZo.
The McZo show. Oh shoot, 30. How many mischats did I get? Oh, shout out to Doug MPA with the super chat. Hold on for a second. Shout out to Doug MPA here with the super chat. Let me get my soundbite thing ready. I know that was late as hell. Oh shoot. Let me see this. Let me see. Was it preacher at church? Oh, right here.
We got money, nigga. We got money, nigga. We got money, nigga.
All right. So we got Doug MPA super chat right here with the $4.99. He says this woman is a prime example that a PhD don't mean ish. This woman is old, used up, single, and alone. Where did she even come from? Well, the thing is, believe it or not, this woman at one point was like a president of an NAACP chapter. And I remember Corey Holcomb mentioning her in passing, where he was actually complimenting her beauty. So that's why I never really got the whole animosity towards Corey Holcomb in the first place. Because I remember he was saying, like, Zoe, who's the girl? Who's the woman you had on your show? When you mentioned that she was the president of an NAACP chapter, I wasn't surprised because that's a bad bitch. Right? So a woman like that is usually the average black dude, especially, like an average black dude's prototype in terms of body type and even face type, believe it or not. So that's the kind of girl or woman that they like. So a woman like that, she'll be able to move up in positions of power. She'll be able to get TV shows or make TV cameos. And, like, dudes are going to give her opportunities because of how she looks, just of how she looks. That's unfortunately how it works. You know what I mean? That's usually how it works. Oh, man. He said Claudia Jordan has a YouTube channel as well. Yeah, Claudia. Oh, man. Anyway, man. Educated Tyrone said, I first saw Kevin on a channel about engineering careers. Yeah, like I remember seeing Kevin Samuels being like, O'Shea Duke Jackson would like promote his channel and ish. Like I remember I've been subscribed to O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel like when I was in high school. So that was like what, 2015, 2016. So like, yeah, that's how long, pause. That's how long. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Young Doka said he struck a nerve calling her imaginative. Well, and plus everything that that the audio, it's hard to pick up, but I'm not gonna misconstrue her words, but I'm gonna say what Corey Holcomb was saying in that audio for the most part. Corey Holcomb was talking about how black women think they have power, or women think they have power, but the actuality of the situation is it's not that they have power, but it's just that they're able to just run to the government or the child support office, right? Or the family court system, where you're bringing the dude to the so-called white man, right? That you so-called hate, and you're destroying your man by bringing him to the enemy. Corey has been very consistent with that point. I don't know why people act like it's science. It's a rocket science what he's saying, but he's saying that women don't really have power. Their only power is their ability to bring you to the government when you act out of line. And this is why you see a lot of black men, they're like very limited into how they can think, how they can do certain things, is because they have women in their lives that will bring them. You see, it's almost like, so shout out to Truth Hunter. He says women have rented power and the landlords are the government and the simps. That's exactly what Corey Holcomb is saying. That's all he's saying. And Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was trying to basically defend, I guess, the power, the quote unquote powers that may be, and saying that, oh no, we could do business like this, we could do business like that. But Corey Holcomb is saying it's impossible to do business with somebody that inferior that can destroy you. So here you are, you're flying high, you went to school, you did all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. But bottom line is, depending on what women you choose, that can literally make or break you, no matter what school you went to, no matter what you accomplished, no matter what business that you did. Like this is really simple stuff when you look at the nitty gritty of it. Like now, I don't understand why they were yelling at each other about it though. But particularly with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. But I remember he did say something after this. I don't know if I can catch it.
Soul Show. So can we have a fucking McZoe burger in here for a minute? Thank Thank you so much. And now to the host of the goddamn show, who will speak next after the black woman on my right stop talking, Zoe Williams.
And we're back. Hey, it really blew up. Listen, during the break footage is going to be bananas because it broke out.
Did we show that?
Huh?
We show that?
Yeah,
we do.
Somebody gonna see your social ass out.
All right, so
you want the government to look out for you.
So listen, it's important that we deal with this because this is
Now, Corey Holcomb has had this argument with most women that have been on the Zowat show, where he always attacks them on the point of, why do you always need the government to help you out? And technically Corey wouldn't consider himself a conservative, but that's basically been, a conservative guideline or a conservative talking point, minimal government involvement to my affairs, whether it be through business, whether it be through the relationship, whether it be through property, minimal government interference. But when you're talking to the average broad, they're pro government interference. You know what I mean? So this is always the disconnect. Now, I'm going to start playing more parts of the break. Hopefully the audio is better with that, because like I said, they filmed that part off camera. This part that I'm showing you right here, they filmed this off camera. This is during their break.
After the black woman on my right stop talking, Zoe Williams.
What is that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio in it? Which one? The brother, they was looking for that diamond out there in Africa. Blood diamond.
Yeah.
It's just like that man's son. He was away from his son. His son was over there with all that bullshit, and he became that bullshit. That's how I look at black women when they talk. It's like you really gotta grab them and just, while they kicking and screaming, you gotta take them back home and let these motherfuckers calm down from all that bullshit that's been put in there.
Yeah, like you said.
And then after they calm down, you try to talk to them and remind them who the fuck you are, who the fuck they are, because they don't even know no more.
No. Can I ask a question? But in the midst of reminding that woman, right? In the midst of reminding that woman, your approach to how you remind, I'm going to say us as a black woman, plays a big part in how we respect you, because only what's to be respected can be respected. No, it's not okay for us to have.
I didn't hear what you said.
No. I hear exactly what you're saying.
My question is to you.
I didn't hear what she said.
Let me ask the question then.
Only what's
I want to know what
is respected. I don't understand that.
My question to you was, in the midst of trying to explain to her, like, who I am and who she is, how do you do that? What does that look like for you? Like, just asking you. Like, is it nurturing? How does it look like for you?
Nurturing.
No, how do you do that with the woman? Do you nurture her? How do you do it?
I'm going to answer your question. What's real is what's real. Sometimes you don't even know it's real until you're around it long enough. And then you be like, man, that was bullshit I was doing. So however the message gets to you, you need to
come back with a rant.
How he has a rap career is beyond me. I don't get it.
So right, even during this part, this is where it was more calm and they were having more of a more civil discussion. And when you look at the other times when Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Corey Holcomb were on the same show, they seem to be agreeing with each other most times. That was probably the only time they disagreed. And it's always going to be the same thing when Corey Holcomb disagrees with a broad when it comes to these important topics. And it's the disconnect between men and women in general, where most men are, they don't want government interference with their affairs. Now, women, they're pro whatever protects them. So if the government's saying that they're protecting them, they will accept protection from the government. But they don't understand that the government is the enemy. But they still look at it as protection. That's all Corey's been trying to say for the past, I don't know how many years now. That's really the only disconnect. As men, we are pro no government interference with my affairs, with my relationships, with how I do things. But women will accept protection from the enemy, like quote unquote protection from the people trying to rip you apart if it means protecting her so-called rights. And we see the results, particularly in the Black community, when government is interfering with the family. It's been disastrous. It's been disastrous because now it's spread. Now it's spread. Because now, even when you talk about women wanting to get married, the only reason why women want to get married, quote unquote, is the protection. The state guarantees you, quote unquote, protection, and really that protection is, if he acts out of line, I can bring you to the child support office. I can bring you to family court. And people be like, no, we need this because if he's abusive. No, don't. If he's not obeying her, if he's not doing what she says, you see your kids? Do you want to see your kids anymore? Do you want me to bring them to? Okay, happy wife, happy life. This is what men, like, especially a old school guy like Corey Holcomb, these are the things that men like that are against, especially when you talk about young men that were older Gen X dudes that were born in the 60s, where they saw firsthand the disastrous implications or the disastrous results of government interference, where you separate the man from the family, and the government gives you some money or some cheese or some food stamps or whatever EBT, whatever government assistance, Section 8 housing, and all this stuff. So a guy like Corey Holcomb, he's gonna be completely against that. Like, I'm talking about completely against that. Yeah, ask anybody, and ask any Gen X dude, especially any Gen X Black dude that's not around women and he's willing to say the truth, and ask him honestly, what do you think about the implementations of, government subsidies and all these things, government handouts for, and basically how to get these things, the man cannot be at the home. This is deliberate strategy to separate the man from the woman, to separate the protector from his family, deliberately. And that's what a guy like Corey Holcomb, that's all he's trying to say. That's all he's trying to say. But people, for some reason, they still that's they still don't get it, man. They still don't get it. Let me see if I can catch Corey Holcomb making a point here.
A whore, and how to not give in to the desires of wanting to be in a relationship with a whore.
Way we can allow our woman to be that divine hoe for us. Is it possible? How can we spark the hoe in her to help us create the universe we want to live in? Corey?
I think you need to teach men at a young age how to recognize a whore and how to not give in to the desires of wanting to be in a relationship with a whore, because a whore is always going to show you who she is. And if you ignore it, that's on you.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
You can't hold it in.
So is there a way we can separate the connotation of hoe from the denotation of hoe? Because the denotation of hoe is.
So yeah, just to let you guys know, always, like, if you guys want the to do this on your free time, just look up go on Zowhat's channel and just search. Go on Zoe's channel and just search Corey Holcomb, and just be educated and just watch, listen to the shows when you're at work or whatever. And you just see Corey Holcomb dropping them like gems amongst gems, like just gems on top of gems on top of gems. Now, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, on the other hand, she's just the average grifter. I don't think like she's like some enemy of the state. She's just the average grifter. But I'm obviously going to put a magnifying glass on her, today, because I caught her lying, like vehemently lying. You know that meme. I don't know if you know, like, is the meme, or the video from Michael Jordan's Last Dance. You remember that part where he's like, "That's all I needed. That's all the energy I needed to do this." That's all the energy I needed to do this. So when I heard Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was talking, I was like half asleep with my phone. But as soon as I heard her lying on Corey Holcomb's name, like my my eyes lit up, and like I just had like a renewal source of hater energy coming through me. I was like, ooh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh, shout out 5150 Nation in the building. Shout out to you, Sosa Les Tony. Shout out to you, bro. 5150 Nation in the building. You already know. Pyro says government should not be in our business. But like I said, that's the disconnect between men and women. Said Truth Hunter said, yo, remember this old meme of a woman's house destroyed by government's fault? She was crying until the government handed her an envelope labeled support, and then she goes, I love you, government. That's perfect. I haven't seen that meme, but that's just a perfect description. Like, it's the same, the same thing, when women, you'll hear women, advocating for socialism, and which just leads to communism. But they that's just how a lot of women, that's how they think. Women are very more, what they say, because what's it, men are more interested in things, women are more interested in people. So in their mind, if you tell a woman, hey, this things needs to be this way, they're always going to be like, no, everybody needs to have this, right? That's just their default way of just thinking, just default. Let me see. Truth Hunter said, all she's dropping are bad eggs. Facts. Like, Corey Holcomb is literally dropping jewels to save men's life. Even, I'll say, people's lives. Because if people actually watch Corey Holcomb's show, he's not just focusing on women. Trust me. But that's a very, when people say, oh, Corey Holcomb hates women, it's just very lazy analysis. He said hater energy. Yeah, yo, facts. Yo, I'd be like, yo, as soon as I saw that, because I already did a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant stream, but I went very easy on her, like very easy. I just highlighted her just being a grifter, right? And doing a thing. But when I heard what she said, and it was just all lies, I was just like something, a spirit came in within me. Pause. And it's just like, I don't know what to call it. Hater energy. It's something. Woke me up out of my sleep. It's almost the same. Like the first time I heard Corey Holcomb talk, right? Really on his 5150 show, and just him just talking in general, outside of the comedy, because I already knew about Corey Holcomb's comedy. I already knew about his comedy. I didn't know he had like a whole, podcast and show, from like 2009, 2012. I had no idea, right? When I first heard Corey talk for the first time, and him talking about what it really is, that joint woke me out of my sleep, bro. I swear to God, I was sleepwalking through this life before I started hearing Corey Holcomb talking. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been missing this. You know what I mean? So yeah, she triggered me. I was like, the stink meaner hater energy. What did you say, Ninja? Yeah. He said, no, she's got no egg. She got an empty egg cart. Oh, yo, I don't know. I don't know if you guys remember when I went on the Undead Chronics channel and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant came up, the topic of her, and they were asking, yo, how old is she? I'm like, she's like 43 years old. And they just started laughing. Yo, we were just sitting there talking about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and what does she mean in the grand scheme of things? Because we were talking about the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Cam Newton interview, and then I don't know if it was Grey Ghost or Chronic who asked, but they were just like, wait, how old is she? And I was like, oh yeah, she's 43. And they were like, she's what? And they just started laughing. Yeah, so hey, like I said, I can give you that example where Claudia Jordan was talking about having kids, and Michael Blackson like, ain't she 48? What's she talking about? Shoot, I remember somebody on Aaron Clary's show, he dropped a super chat, and Aaron Clary read the story about a dude, him going to work and hearing a 47-year-old white woman talking about, I'm thinking about freezing my eggs. She's 47 talking about, I'm thinking about freezing my eggs. Bruh. There is, like I said, there's no, how do you even debate somebody like that? How do you even talk to somebody like that? They're lost. It's over. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do with that. Kenneth M. Truth says, Corey Holcomb hates bitches. Women no longer know the difference between the two. Facts. There's a difference between a bitch and a woman. Tupac already said these things, and these hoes love Tupac so much, but they still don't get the difference, right? Water God Zero said, bro had his Vegeta moment. Yo, Vegeta is my spirit animal, bro. People don't even know. Yo, Vegeta, I always looked at Vegeta different, man. yo, I always looked at Vegeta different, man. Like they should make like a compilation of like, they probably done it already, but they need to like make a compilation of like Vegeta's like quotes just in general, and just compare it to the average dude's life. Like more people actually can relate to Vegeta more than we want to admit. Yeah. When I brought up, they had no idea that she was like 43 years old. They didn't know. Like, people don't understand like the mental illness that, you know, I would say black women are that many black women have. It's a mental illness, man. Nothing we can do about that. But oh yeah, I'm done with the Breakfast Club interview. That's all I wanted to show you with that broad on that interview. But like, if you guys get the chance, please watch the full interviews of the Divine 304. And there's another hold on for a second. Let me look at my history. See if I can bring that up. I have it somewhere. Okay, right? No, not this. No, not this. Okay, this one right here.
Play. Bobby's a cold dude. He's a serious.
So this episode went viral because Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was also on this platform with Corey Holcomb on this episode, but they weren't even arguing. They didn't even argue on this one. So that's why I was like confused when she was talking about, I checked him. So I had to do like some real deep research until I found this snippet from 2014. I was like, okay, that makes sense, because I never even saw it on the actual show. This happened during the break of one of the shows. They filmed that during the break. This didn't even actually make the actual show. So that's why I was so confused. I'm like, what in the hell is she talking about? Check who? I'm like, oh, she's talking about the argument. Okay. I was like, all right. I was like, that point that Corey Holcomb made with her, he's made that point with plenty of women on Zowat show, or all the bras that want to go on Zowat show and want to talk about, oh no, the government can help you do this, and you need the government to regulate. Bruh. But there's, but when you're dealing with the average broad, they don't get it. Minimal government interference. This is why you see a lot of dudes, they tend, even if they start saying things social, like if they're social liberally, the reality of the situation is, when it comes to most aspects of their life, they're conservative, meaning they want minimal government interference in their affairs as much as possible. Right? When you want to talk about laissez-faire economics, all that, all that comes into play, right? But if you ask the average broad, they're gonna just say it's racism or something. Conservative politics is racism. Okay. Oh man. Long Live the King says, bro, I get it, but the average woman defends the lowest of grimy women just by nature. Facts. The first thing they're going to say, not all women. Just for them always saying not all women, when you're talking about, you could be talking about the most evilest broad in the world. They're going to be talking about not all women. I'm like, I'm just talking about this broad right here. I'm not talking about all broads. I'm talking about this broad. Oh, speaking of which, I got something for that too. I got something for that as well. I got something for that as well. I don't know if I can bring up that video that Pyro sent me on Instagram. Oh man. Yep. Oh, yep. Right here. Long Live the King said, yes, I've had conversations with teachers, nurses that defend Cardi B, Gorilla. I call Glorilla Gorilla. Yes, because that's how she wants to act. That's what she wants to embody. I shall call you that. Gorilla and such. It's crazy. Facts. But they don't even, like, women don't even understand most of the problems that they complain about, they create. Right? So for example, for example, you have women complaining about men putting their single mammies on a pedestal. Right? So they'll be like, I'm like, they're comparing me to their single mammy that worked 3 jobs to make ends meet, and they expect me to do that. Yeah. Why do you think they're at this position where they think women are supposed to be doing all this stuff? What? And they don't even understand. They created that mess. They created that mess where basically the dudes are gonna have to take care of their single mammies forever, since they're burnt out for working so damn hard. When in the actuality of the situation, their single mammies ran their fathers off, or they were messing with a dude that they were not supposed to be with, and now they have to be your so-called super mom, and you're just shocked that you expect the products of single mammies to look at women a certain way. I don't get it, But the thing is, when you grow older, once you start paying attention, women will sacrifice everything for what they want, for just what they want. And I'm talking about the whole world can go to crap, but if they're not getting what they want, they're always going to be quote unquote unhappy. I'm talking about no matter the cost. And it's not necessarily just what they want. They want you to say that what they want, they're right to feel that they need to have what they want. That's really all that is. That's why all you have to do to get a woman to be on your side is to say, is to basically agree with everything that she's saying, meaning saying, you're right to feel this way. You're right to want to feel that. That's all you got to say, and they'll just run with that. Truth Hunter said, I call her Dougie B to other women. It pisses them off so much. Like remember the other grifters that came after Derek Jackson that were like they're like this one specific guy that came after Derek Jackson that was saying everything that women wanted to hear, and then they found out like that guy was like a criminal. He was like he got arrested. It was like this light skinned dude, whatever, and he was saying women are the god of the universe. Single moms are the prize. It was this other light skinned dude that was grifting. And then they found out that guy has been in prison. He was arrested for beating up on women and stuff like that. And then once we showed the evidence to the women, they didn't care. They didn't care because as long as he was saying what they wanted to hear, they didn't care. They didn't care. I forgot what that guy's name was. Like a light skinned dude with tattoos, right? It's crazy, man. It's wild, but like women don't understand the world they're creating their own hell. They're creating their own hell, and really all they have to do is really just stay in their house and be quiet, and most of their things could be solved, but they don't want to do that. They just don't want to do that, right? Truth Hunter said a prize that can't even survive 1 or 2 weeks on an island. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Hold on, let's get on to Instagram real quick because I'm done with the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant broad. I have no respect for. It's one thing to disagree. It's one thing to be upset about somebody, but to be that upset about somebody, to go as far as to lie on their name, to call somebody an alcoholic with no proof, to say this guy is hurt and broken and this guy has a failed comedy career and all this stuff. Whoa, what are we doing? Now you're taking it too far now. Now you're taking it too far, And shout out to Riva TV for going on the Corey Holcomb show and defending Corey Holcomb, right? So I'll give her a female content creator props where props is due. And even if you look at that interview, the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant Breakfast Club interview, she was out of pocket for talking about, I would like to have a conversation with Jasmine Brown. And no. You see, this is out of pocket. This is out of pocket. Jasmine Brown said there was nothing wrong. Take her word for it. She wants to be, I keep telling, she wants to be with Cam. I keep trying to tell people, men with options, they get the best cooperation from women. That's just how it works. Hold on for a second. Let me bring up something. Let me bring up one last point that Corey Holcomb made. This is on a separate episode, but I want to bring this up. I want to bring this up. Let me see if I can bring up that video. THP Network. I don't know if I can bring up the video real quick. It's a clip from the Corey Holcomb. It's a clip from the Corey Holcomb show where Corey Holcomb brought up a great point. Oh man. Right here. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Right here. So let me bring up an audio clip from the Corey Holcomb show, and let me see. Let me see if I can bring up an audio clip from the Corey Holcomb show. Let me see if I can. Right here. So right here. Flashback.
I was
fair use, by the way. Fair use. Flashback.
I was with Floyd Mayweather. When I met him, I couldn't believe it. Floyd was like, "Hey, what's up, man? This is my fiance. This is my girl." They was both standing right there. That's what paper do, boy.
That should be like a just like an intro clip just to like life. That should be like an intro clip to life. Let me replay that one more time for you if you guys missed it. Right here. He talks about meeting Floyd Mayweather when he was at a party of his.
Flashback. I was with Floyd Mayweather. When I met him, I couldn't believe it. Floyd was like, "Hey, what's up, man? This my fiance. This my girl." They was both standing right there. That's what paper do, boy. You got that paper, people fall in line.
I love how he's just staring straight in the camera, looking to Ninja's soul when he's saying that. Facts. And, you know, when people just grow older, people understand. You start, especially when you grow older, you really just start to understand how cold this game is. That like that's just how this game works, man. I'm trying to see if I can find that video. It's a video that I think. See if I can find it. I don't know why I can't find it. But it's a video where, wait, is it this? I think this is it. I found it. So I saved it. So let me play this video for you. For you religious folks out there. And let me play this for you because there was too much facts. Too much facts being spoken. Let me play this video for you real quick. Right here. Let's share this tab right here. I love this. I love this video right here. I love this video.
If you didn't know, a hoe's final form is a religious woman.
We're gonna play it one more time.
If you didn't know, a hoe's final form is a religious woman.
Yo, and look, she not wrong.
If you didn't know,
the proof. Look at the Nala Ray, the girl from the whatever podcast, the OnlyFans girl that went viral off the whatever podcast. Look at Nala Ray and look at the comment section when Andrew Wilson said F off. Where he said, like, you have no right to be lecturing me. You had, initially when Nala Ray said that, oh, I'm transformed, I'm saved. You got all these broads defending this broad. I don't know which comment section it was that really proved my point, but I sent it to somebody. I forgot who I sent it to, but like I sent a video to a lot of people regarding this, and it was hilarious to me. I think maybe did I send it to Pyro? I don't know if I sent it to Educated Tyrone, but I remember sending a video like this. I sent him a specific video where I was like, yo, look at the comment section. That proves what you sent to me was right. Oh, right here. I got it. So right here, just to prove this lady right, because people don't understand it, because people just think it's just black women that were hoes in the church. And it was black women. Then they were hoes in the church, and then they ran to the church for protection. Yes, they were the first ones doing that, but it's pretty universal. It's pretty universal, really, in general, especially now. Church is just full of old hoes looking for protection, right? So look at this meme right here. Look at this meme. You have a guy here saying, I saved myself for marriage. So you have a guy here saying, I saved myself for marriage, right? And then you have a girl reply back, I'm a born again virgin. And then you see the disappointment. So now what I want you to focus on is the comment section. So we're going to zoom in on the comment section real quick. Right? Let's look at the comment section. You're going to have a whole bunch of hoes, Christian hoes in the comment section. Right? It's going to be a whole bunch of Christian hoes in the comment section snitching on themselves. Here you have one girl. Well, my deepest apologies that me undergoing essay as a child is such a big inconvenience for you. Okay. Bring that up with your single mammy. And now you have somebody here talking about, let he who never sinned cast the first stone. And somebody else comes, this post does not represent Christ. Rahab, Paul, Jonah, grace is given, not earned. It may be your right to want someone pure, but don't dismiss the people God works through for your worldly fetishes. Now, but dude, I'm telling you, all of the comments, it's either hoes defending other hoes or other women defending other hoes or simp dudes defending hoes. Literally that whole comment section. Somebody said, this is so offensive. But like I said, these are the so-called Christian women that y'all want. and homegirl is trying to tell you, sister just trying to tell you, church is just full of old hoes. Trust me, black people know. We know. Like, trust us on this. Trust us on this. Church is just full of old hoes, dog. No matter the race. Please just take our word for it, man. Take for all the things that you can dismiss. Take our word for this. Church is just full. When we talking about the final form of broads in church, they're just old hoes. Trust me. You gotta trust me on this. Oh man. Truth Hunter says a hoe powering up and transforming into a church lady be lit. Shirt too with the words she said. Yeah. She should make that girl that we just saw. She should make that into a t-shirt. And by the way, what's it? The sprinkle lady? Well, Shireen 07, that is one thing I do agree. Because she said the exact same thing. She said, oh, a girl from church? Old hoe. I was like, oh, I agree with that. I can agree with that. Wait, ninjas know when it comes, especially when it comes to church. Like church is an adult playground at best. No disrespect, especially nowadays. It's just a very entertaining adult playground. That's all church is nowadays. It's nothing you take serious. And by the way, yeah, Pyro said the comments on that reel is just full of coke. Yeah, facts. He said she def was casting stones. Facts. Like these be the same bros. Don't cast any stones. Well, you know what's interesting? They always keep talking about my sexual past doesn't matter. But I'm like, how many dudes can walk up into a spot and be like, you know what? I molested kids when I was younger, but that's not me no more. My past is my past. Please accept me for who I am. I'm not that guy anymore. I don't diddle with kids no more. If people could say that's an extreme example, but to say somebody's past is just their past, no. Nope. That's not how this thing works. Once a hoe, always a hoe. Facts. Facts. like Corey Holcomb said, you can't void out all the ninjas that washed up in your sink. That's not how it works. it'd be funny too. The church bras, they'd be like 43 years old talking about, I'm a virgin and I'm saving this for Mr. Right. I'm like, what are you talking about? I knew you in your just 10 years ago. You was just out in the streets. What are you talking about? I'm a virgin in Christ. I'm a born again virgin. Okay. These bras be like 40 something talking about they are born again virgin and stuff, and talking about I'm celibate now. It's the funniest thing. And by the way, we already know how the playbook is when it comes to women in church. Or we'll talk about the dominant society when we talk about Caucasian women, right? They hit 25 or 26. I'll say for Caucasian women, I'll say 20. They'll hit 26, 27. Then they come back into the church, or they go to a church looking for simps to prey on. That's what they do. I'm changed. I'm not that woman no more. It'd be so funny too when I be talking to guys. He'd be like, man, I really found this really good woman. She goes to church and everything. And then you find out, oh, she's 28. She's 29. She just recently came back and now she's good. Now she's, and you're just like, I bet you she is. I bet you she is. How convenient when the bad boys ain't calling no more. The drug dealers ain't giving out no free weed for that used up punani no more. When they finally can, when they stop getting free drinks at the club, or their younger counterparts are basically stealing their business, stealing their man. Now all of a sudden, I think a change needs to happen. I think I need to be spiritually changed. Oh, yeah? Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, shout out to Educate Tyrone. He says, thank you for putting the doctor in quotes in the title. Oh, man. Yeah, man. That bitch ain't no doctor. That bitch. That bitch a witch doctor, dog. And let me not find out she have a PhD in some African studies or something. Like some shit that don't even exist. I better not find out it's like a PhD in African studies. I better not find out. Let me not find out. Or gender studies. I don't know what this broad talking about, man. This broad is on nonsense. have my bachelor's in this and my master's in this. In what? Underwater basket. Was it? What did Joker say? What did Better Bachelor say? Underwater basket weaving. And gender man, yo, I remember seeing that. Remember that Bumble profile that went viral? And it was like a single mammy. So it was like it was a mud shirt, and she was like a single mammy, and she said she had like a master's in museum studies. Have you seen that Bumble profile that went viral? Masters in museum studies. Oh my God. That's so bad. That's so bad, man. Yo, that's just it's just, yeah. It's just. And by the way, that what I'm showing you, the meme that I showed you, it's a Christian page. It's a Christian page. Let me show you. Let me show you. It's an actual, like, this is a meme page for Christians. But look at how many people disagreed with the post. Watch this. Non-denominational chat. So this is one of those, Christian pages. Non-denominational chat. This is a Christian meme page, right? It is what it is. So also, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Let me just make sure I'm not missing nothing. Let me zoom out first. Sheesh, Luis. Let me make sure I don't have nothing on standby. Make sure I have nothing on standby. What we got here? Let me see it. Here we go. Here we go. I think this will be the last short clip of tonight. This should be the last short clip of tonight. Okay. This should be the last short clip of tonight. Right here. Here we're gonna have more women snitching on themselves, and just to let you know, look how many likes, and watch this. The comment section disabled. Comment section disabled. Let's play.
Not comfortable. In fact, I've like tried really hard to be attracted to men who like treat me well.
It's boring.
It's not only boring, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. So, okay, I'm not comfortable. In fact, I've like tried really hard to be attracted to men who like treat me well.
It's boring.
It's not only boring, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. So, okay, I'm not comfortable. In fact, I've like tried really hard to be attracted to men who like treat me well.
It's boring.
It's not only boring, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. So, okay, I'm not comfortable.
Any other questions, fellas? They had to disable the comment section for a reason. This is why I tell people like the deadbeat dads, they're myth. I keep trying to. I'm gonna ride this home. And by the way, I find it very interesting. Let me take my the energy off the woman, for example, for a minute. I find it interesting. These so-called Jesse Lee Peterson fans that were mad about what I said about Jesse Lee Peterson 2 years ago. I find it interesting that I don't really hear a whole lot of Jesse Lee Peterson fans repeating this. Deadbeat dads are a myth. They don't really say that out loud. I find that very interesting. But that's a whole nother discussion for another day. Oh man, you can't say that. That's not based, man. That wasn't my mom. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Oh man. But like I said, there's just no such thing as a deadbeat dad. I'll stand on that. There's no such thing. Women choose who they procreate with. They have the ultimate right of choice, refusal, everything. They know exactly who they're picking for the most part. I just from experience, they know what they're getting into. The problem is they'll get with somebody that intrigues them for whatever that reason, that intriguing reason that might be, and then they'll try to prove a point. They get caught up. And then they'll decide to keep a baby for some weird reason. I'm talking about women will keep a baby out of spite. I'm talking about the broad could have had plans of deleting the baby, but because she told the news to you, and you were like, "Oh, thank God you're deleting the baby," she might just keep it, just out of spite. Just out of spite, because you were too excited about her deleting the baby. Oh man, it's up to Rocky right here. Yeah, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Rocky says she is as much of a doctor as is Dr. effing Pepper. Yeah, museum studies. Yep, like it was a broad that went viral. Talking about she got a master's in museum studies. Oh my God, man. This is crazy, man. Gender studies. But like this video I just showed you, we've seen a lot of videos like that. But there'll be still dudes coming to women's defense. Like, it'll be still dudes coming to women's defense. And you're just like, most of the situations that women find themselves into, they chose it. They chose it. Right? You can't be afraid to be like, you can't be afraid to ask a woman, yo, what kind of dude did you choose? And by the way, please educate me in the chat. Didn't like Sky Jackson, the actress, she's like pregnant right now, but with like apparently like she's like pregnant with like a random bum, basically. Like she decided to get pregnant by like a random. And then somebody had told, like I saw something where they say like he already has like 4 baby mothers or something crazy like that. I don't know if that's right though, but please educate me in the chat if that's right. Does it like Sky's like she isn't she like pregnant with a dude that already has like 4 baby moms already? Yeah, Water God Zero said yes, she is. So because I saw somewhere they said like because I already knew he was a bum off just off of looking at him. No disrespect, but then I saw something where I'm like, he has 4 baby moms already. I'm like, how is that possible? I'm like, she couldn't find nobody else. I'm just like, do you guys remember the baby dad thread that I showed you guys? A lot of you guys. I don't know. Most people that were in the chat for today's show, they probably obviously never seen it, but I don't know. Should I do that baby dad thread? Should I show that again? It's one of the funniest things. I was so glad that woman exposed these broads. Like these are the people that they be procreating with, and then they be mad at all men because of who they decided to procreate with, and they be procreating with I'm talking about scam artists, drug dealers, criminals, dudes with no jobs. I'm like, how is this our fault? But those are the guys that they have the most fun with. Those are the guys, according to them, they have the best sex with, according to the women. So I'm like, so if that's what you're choosing above all else, why are men getting the blame for your poor decisions? Like we got to stop this. Eventually we got to stop this, because when I saw that baby dad thread, like I don't even have to know the dudes in the thread. I'm looking at them. I'm just looking at them, and I know they're not good dads or potential good dads. There's no way. there's no way if I'm a father, a guy like that could come into my house. That's crazy. But like I said, women. I always tell people, women love pookies, and the drug dealers, like the dudes that are above the law. Those are the guys that they love the most. Those tall, long, skinny dudes that need therapy. Those are the guys that they like. Not like just a tall dude, just like they like guys that, yeah, he's tall, but he needs therapy. Like a guy that's clearly messed up in the head. Those are the guys that they like. I'm talking about unconditional love. I'm talking about like literal unconditional love. Those are the guys that they like the most, and the drug dealers. That's why I laugh when women talk about predatory dudes and guys need to stop being predators, and then they be sleeping with drug dealers, and drug dealers be messing with underage women all the time. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Women will brag about sleeping with drug dealers. And these unemployed dudes, and these be the dudes that be messing with underage women. These dudes that are quote unquote above the law, and those are the dudes that women will mess with the most, particularly when they're younger, right? But that's what they. He says, "Show it again, show it again." I'm tempted. I'm very tempted. I just know, like, it's so down my saved list. I don't even know if I'll be able to find that. to keep it a buck with you, I don't even know if I'll be able to find it. I'd have to do like a massive like just scroll to find something like that. But that baby dad thread, I laughed so hard when I saw it because it's exactly what I thought it would be. It's exactly what I thought it would be. Hold on, guys. Am I? Okay. Okay. I thought I froze up for a second. I thought I froze up. I thought I froze up for a second. I'm good. All right. But let me look for the thread, and then we will call it quits. Let me look for the thread, and then I'll call it quits. Oh man. Let's see if I can find that thread. Because I found it funny. I found that thread hilarious because that thread was exactly what I thought it was going to look like. Scammers, drug dealers, and unemployed dudes with tattoos. These dudes look unemployable. I'm looking at these dudes. I was like, bruh, I'm like, come on. Because especially when you're dealing with, especially with women nowadays, they're just going off a D game and then just shocked when that doesn't work out. Oh man. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. Let me see if I can find that thread. Oh man. So I'm not even sure if I can find that thread. But I'm gonna try to find it. Oh, it's gonna be down there. It's gonna be down there. Oh, by the way, did you guys hear about that news? Well, oh no, because we already covered it, but now with the Iraq, the age of marriage thing that they're lowering it from like 18 to 9 or something. We covered it already a couple months ago, but like now it's like official. Something crazy. It's something crazy like that. Oh, first off, I know I shouldn't be showing this, but this should be my wallpaper, low key. Hold on for a second, guys. Low key, this should be my wallpaper right here. This should be my wallpaper. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. This low key should be my wallpaper. But let me stop being disrespectful. Let me stop being disrespectful. Let me put an overlay on that. Let me not be disrespectful. Let me not be disrespectful. Let me keep scrolling until I find the thing. Let me see if I can find that baby dad thread because I found it very informative and it explains the bitterness. It explains everything you need to it explains everything. Especially like people don't even know, like when you talk about when it comes to the community, people don't understand the type of stuff that we're dealing with, man. Like you have a like people wonder why are black dudes actively like literally actively looking to date outside the race? Because the women in the community, including the nerd girls, including the nerdy black girls, they're in love with Pookies. Bottom line, that's their heart belongs to Pookie. All of them. Don't let those nerdy girls confuse you. Don't let them nerdy girls confuse you. Yeah, they like nerdy dudes, but they like drug dealers that like anime. That's what they like. They like Pookies that like anime. They don't like black dudes that like anime. They like Pookies that like anime. That there's a big difference. A big difference. Here we go. We're in May. Should be coming up. Yep, I found it, guys. I found it. I found it. You guys ready for it? Let's put this on full screen right here. You guys ready? Let's take the overlay off. Got the baby dad thread coming up for you. Here we got baby dad number 1. Baby dad number 1. I know. Can I zoom in on this? Let me see if I can zoom in. On this because this is funny to me. This is funny to me. Let's put this on slow mode too. Let's put this on slow mode. We gotta pray we can't be. Baby daddy number 2. Baby daddy number 3. Oh, this is going too fast. Maybe I should just do full screen. F it, let me do full screen. Now, when you look at these gentlemen, and this guy has 2 guns in his hands, a mugshot, tattoos on his face, right? Here we are. Another drug dealer or potential scammer. Gun picture, baby daddy number 3. Another wannabe trappers, but these guys are I'm pretty sure these guys are unemployed. Right? Here we got Malibu's Most Wanted. Over here we have Malibu's Most Wanted. These are the baby. These are the baby dads that they got. Man, this is crazy. Hold on, let me keep it on this picture, and then let me read some of these comments. Rocky said they love tall MFers so much and thug looking dudes. I'm extremely bitter and angry. I don't even think it's really just the tall thing. It's really just the pookie thing. Thug maxing works. So this is thing that the incels, they came up with something. They said thug maxing. So basically you kind of make yourself look as dangerous as possible, whether it's getting tattoos or getting a baklava, right? The poo shiesty masks. I will say this, thug maxing, it does work. Unfortunately, it works. It works. No matter how tall you are, mind you, it works. Thug maxing works. Making yourself look dangerous, it works. Right? Right? Oh, yeah, and it was rainbow ninjas in there. It was rainbow ninjas, street ninjas, drug dealers, and scammers. But I forgot about the rainbow looking ninjas. Right? Lorette Hamilton says, sometimes the baby mama gets in out from her family. I have a nephew whose grandma decided to have her extended family adopt a baby. When my brother came to claim the baby, the grandma said no. Wow. Family politics. Let me see. Shadow Dog Log had a comment that was interesting right here. He said, Chris, one of my jobs is at a grocery store, and these bitches be in their smacks and security uniforms while the dudes be looking for bunnies. Oh, but no, why these dudes be looking funny, and these be some good looking chicks. Yeah. People don't understand, like, they're these dudes, the ladies, especially when you're talking about hood chicks, they just go by D game. That's what they do. Or whoever gives them the tingles the most. So if they have the option, take a hardworking dude that got money with good D game, and then the other option is drug dealer with decent D game. They're gonna take the drug dealer with decent D game. That's how, because on top of that, because when you're dealing with a responsible man, a man that has his stuff together, the woman has to also pull her weight. There's a reason why, I always bring up the Sierra Russell Wilson point. Sierra, she doesn't get away with the nonsense that she used to get away with. So now when she tries to drop songs or she tries to busts down for the internet, she gets criticized by even her own fans because they're like, no, you found the guy that you were looking for. You got the good guy now. Now it's time for you to be a good woman. You know? Oh man. Oh, the baby dad thread is not over. Let's keep it playing. Here we have another dude with this is probably one of his many baby mothers. This is Pookie with one of his many baby mothers. Trust me, this is not his only baby mother. And I'm pretty sure this is not her only baby father. Right? Here we got this dude. This might be the most normal looking dude of the bunch. This might be the most normal looking dude of the bunch. But I can tell one thing I notice about him. I can tell he's not tall. I want you guys to recognize this. You know, when women on the internet, when they're talking about, oh, I need a guy that's 6 feet tall and makes six figures, they're looking for a bailout plan. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for love. They're looking for a bailout plan. Hence why all the metrics that they have, right? They want somebody to bail them out of all the horrible decisions that they made when they were younger. But this might be the most normal looking dude of the bunch. Like he probably has a normal job, like somewhere, you know, as a manager at Foot Locker or something like that. Something very simple. You know what I mean? This guy right here with the Hennessy bottle, the tank top, the tattoos up the yin yang, even the face tats. I mean, these are usually the dudes that women are procreating with, particularly when you're talking about the hood. Here we go. We got this dude right here, unemployed. Trust me, this guy right here is unemployed. Trust me. Here we have another scammer or drug dealer or somebody that's above the law. Here with another gun pick, right? Here we have an undercover dude. Here we have an undercover fruit booty dude. Sorry, let me use more sober language. Here we have an undercover rainbow, right? Okay. Here we have a trapper, wannabe scam artist, unemployed dude, right? Here we have this guy right here looks like a degenerate, meaning this guy, he's probably taken a life. Like he looks like a problem. He looks like a problem. I can tell he's probably taking a life. And I'm looking at his fingernails. Oh Lord have mercy. Yikes. Wannabe scammer / trapper. You know what I'm saying right here? Unemployed right here, wannabe pimp. This is probably a, because you see, this looks like a hotel right here, but let me leave that alone. Okay. I like this one right. I like this one right here. This one I like this one. Oh man. Wannabe trapper right here. Usually when they got the fake dollar bills, when they got the dollar bills in their hands, it tells me everything I need to know. Wannabe trapper, scam artist. Wannabe club promoter, no disrespect. I know guys like that. Here we got some drug dealers literally showing off the drugs that they've been dealing, which is stupid, but this is what we're dealing with right here. Okay. This one's funny, right? Yeah, so these are the rest of the dudes. Yeah, these guys are undercover right here. Right? This one's hilarious. This is funny. You have the baby crying in his arms. This dude got a tattoo on his head and he's got a Hennessy bottle on the other hand. These are the dudes that women love right here.
Can't bang.
Oh, did I put the volume up? My bad. Here we go. Right, that guy's faded right there. And you got these two undercover ninjas right here. And they're not even really undercover. It's clear that they're rainbow. Clear as day that they're rainbow. But yep, these are the broads' baby daddies right here. These are the broads' baby daddies. Brother Sam from Dexter. Yeah, the guy with the blue basketball jersey holding up his driver's license. Yeah. Lord Hamilton says Shannon Sharp has a new clip with comedian Carlos Miller discussing how unrealistic women's requests for men 6'4" is good exchange. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I didn't want to say it. Truth Hunter he said the hotel guy's an escort guard. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I did not want to say the obvious. These wannabe pimps. Oh, Lord have mercy, man. Yikes. Yeah, these are their baby daddies right here. These are their baby daddies, man. Oh man. Let me see if I missed any chats. Because I know I missed a lot of chats today because there was a lot of people tuned in for the stream. At one point, I saw like 95 people in at one time with this. So that was crazy. I saw 95 people at one time. That's I'm talking about for a good while when I was covering Dr. Cheyenne Bryant for like a good 30 to 40 minutes, it was like 70 plus people tuned in. That's crazy. So man, thank you for tuning in on that end. But let me just make sure I didn't miss any chats. I covered all the super chats. But yeah, bottom line, when it regards to, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, oh Lord, hold on. Pyro said, why does it look like those two came from a corn shoot? Yeah. These guys look wild. Let's look at them one more time. Let's take one more good look at these guys. Yikes. Now they probably did, or anyway. Wild stuff. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. But yeah, when it comes to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, we already know what type of broad we're dealing with when it comes to her. I already did a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant stream. You can look that up on my channel if you haven't seen that yet. Just type in Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. You'll be able to see it. But yep, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, she's a scam artist, a liar, and a very unreliable source. Obviously showed you evidence of her lying about Corey Holcomb. That's what we're dealing with. A liar and a manipulator. Oh man. Truth Hunter said maybe Little Nas X backup dancers at a Christmas dancers. Yeah, maybe. He said, "Damn, that's pitiful." Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, like a woman, but especially when you're talking about women don't want normal. They don't want normal. They don't want stability. That's the last thing they're looking for. And I already showed you that clip where that woman said, "Look, it's hard for me to be nice to a guy that's nice to me." Right? She said it. She said, "Look, man, it's hard for me to be nice to a guy that's nice to me." Let's just hear it one more time.
In fact, I've tried really hard to be attracted to men who treat me well.
It's boring.
It's not only boring, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. So, okay.
Look at just the disgust, especially from the woman to the right. That was with the red haired girl. It's so boring. Like I said, they want drama. They want the nonsense. They want to be cheated on. They want the instability. That's because really woman's life, a woman's life is full of instability, especially when they're younger. Especially when they're younger. They're only like a woman, like, especially at a young, premenopause, a woman's life, they're only functional about 1 week out of a month. Most of the time in that week, their stomach hurts, they have a headache, they're sick, they're depressed. Their life is, even without a man, it's, they can barely do the basics in terms of a semblance of normalcy. There's always have to be some kind of drama, something that's not working, some type of instability, something that makes it not a normal situation. That's what they're always looking for, and so when you hear women complaining about the situationships, quote unquote, that they get themselves into, the situations that they get themselves into, it's most likely kind of self-inflicted. If they don't have a man guiding them, they're lost. Most of them. Right? And the women that you see that on Instagram that quote unquote have their own apartments and whatnot, a lot of them, their dad is still paying for it. No disrespect, because I don't think it's wrong for them to accept a loan from their parents to help them survive, but it's not, they're not, even like I said, even if she's actually making 6 figures, she's barely making it. Like a dude can make it like off of 50K, 40K, like he by himself, he's straight, but that's not how men are judged. Women think they're making it because if they're making a certain type of money and they're taking care of themselves. That's not making it for a man. That's the bare minimum for a man. A man is judged on how not only taking care of himself, but if he can take care of others or if he can take care of a family. That's how men are judged. So a woman, like I said, a woman can be making 6 figures and barely making it. But the guy that's making 70K, they're still gonna look at him like, "Yo, are you gonna take care of somebody else? Are you gonna start taking care of a family? Are you gonna rescue that single mom right there because she needs rescuing?" Right? That's how men are judged. Can you not only take care of yourself, but can you also take care of others? Are you an opportunity for others? That's how men are judged. That's how men are judged. Bottom line, and women can act like, oh, it ain't like that, but that's the real world. That's the real world for you. Okay. See what else I missed right here. He said that pic of those two put a hurting on my vision. Yep. It's sad to see especially, it's really sad to see black men doing this. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't want to see black men doing this. This is crazy. Remember that joke from Richard Pryor? He was talking about John Witherspoon. He said we found him and he was cleaning toilets. We said, "John, please drop the doo-doo. Please. We don't want to see black people doing this." That Richard Pryor roast, when he goes off on everybody, that is one of the greatest things in comedy history. If anybody gets a chance, watch the Richard Pryor roast and watch at the end how he masterfully just destroys everybody on the panel. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. And then when he called Paul Mooney gay, oh man, that was crazy. That was crazy. And Richard Pryor outed himself on the roast too. That's why I love Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, he's one of the few people that can say, "Yo, I kept it 100." He's talked about how he's messed with men himself and how he's a how he's a cokehead. He was the only person that really outed himself. I got respect for Pryor, man. I got real respect for Pryor. Nobody else was doing that. That's why I don't even argue with people. You know how I say Corey Holcomb's the GOAT, but if somebody tells me Richard Pryor's the GOAT, I don't even argue with him. Because Richard Pryor, he really put himself out there. And I'm like, he not only was he roasting other people, he put himself out there. I gotta respect it. Oh, let's see. Judged by he said, want normal? Haha, the Baker effect. Oh, the Hannah Baker, you mean? Hannah Baker. Yeah, Hannah Baker. She one day I gotta have like a stream where I get all the like white bitches. I'm sorry, the white girls that I gotta stop using. I gotta get all these Caucasian broads that were very invested in that show, the 13 Reasons Why, and then I just want them to just be shocked after what I say. Because Hannah Baker, she destroyed herself by just being her. She destroyed herself. All she had to do was be with Clay, and she would have gotten everything she wanted. I'm talking about everything she wanted. But, you know, I don't know what, like a broad like that goes through what she goes through, or when I see a girl go through that in real life, but I'm like, as a woman, you need to look at yourself realistically. Okay, you're a quote unquote thick girl, right? Thick white girl going on a highly touted, popular high school in the suburbs. And her first mission is to go Chad hunting. I mean, what did she think was going to happen to her, man? All these men want to do is just use me and nothing else. I mean, of course. What else do you got to offer? If you one of those, you know, quote unquote thick chicks, right? And you go into the suburbs and you're gonna go Chad hunting, and you on a chubby side, but dudes be quote unquote complimenting you on your ass, that's not a good sign. You gonna get used up, played out. Probably, you know, the football team might run a train on you in the bathroom or something, or behind the bleachers, whatever. But that is the most action, or that's the closest to action that you're gonna get. Like, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Truth Hunter said, yep, they want their life like a Spanish drama movie mixed with an 80s action movie. Yeah, they yeah, like, and especially, you know, women, they always think they're the main character. They always think they're the main character. He said men are judged by how many baby mamas they got. Yeah, but baby mamas are a form of social proof. Ask Future. Ask London, London on the Track, the music producer who got like 6 baby moms and like 4 like separate baby moms. Right? Look at Nick Cannon. Kids are a form of social proof for men, believe it or not. If you're a single dude, like a 30-year-old man with no kids that's rich versus a 30-year-old dude but with like 5, 6, 7 baby moms, that guy unfortunately is probably going to have get more cooperation from women than the guy that's single with no kids. Believe it or not, that's just how it works. Believe it or not, that's just how it works. And by the way, it's funny when people want to talk about, you know, postpartum depression. Yeah, I never hear Future's baby mamas talking about postpartum. I don't hear Cam Newton's baby mamas talking about postpartum. Nick Cannon's baby moms. Tyreek Hill's baby moms. None of them talking about postpartum. I wonder why. You know? Yeah, but that's it. That's all I got for today. I'm not even gonna lie. That's all I got for today, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I went a little bit over the 2. Oh yeah, I went way over the 2-hour mark. My bad. But thankfully, I don't think I have anything tonight. But yeah, that's it for today. Yeah, last night I was been doing a lot of studio sessions lately. But like some of the ones I'm not even getting, like there's one I did last night. I didn't get paid for that one. But there's one thing I am working on. Hopefully it does end up going well. Me and my cousin. Well, let me not put out no plans out there, but I do have some plans in the work. But bottom line, thank you guys for tuning in for this one. You know, I already explained what I needed to know about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. If you guys get the chance, go on Zoa Channel's platform and just look at any show from 4 years ago, or just type in Corey Holcomb in Zoa Show's channel and just be educated, bro. It's great. It's great content, and it's a big influence on my channel today. Also subscribe to Corey Holcomb's 5150 show. His subscriber count has been going up lately. Like really it's been gradually, slowly but surely, but growing. You know what I mean? It's at the 400K mark. It should be way more than that, but guys like that be getting shadow banned because he be talking about the rainbow people. But yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning into today's live stream. I had a lot of people tuning in. Thank you for the usual people for tuning in. Y'all already know who y'all are. Ward Band members, and the usual suspects. Thank you, man. Archie Lean, thank you, man. Thank you for tuning in, bro. He said, he said, my first time catching the live show. I'll be back, chat. Facts. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I saw you throughout the chat. Pyro, thank you. Rocky, Truth Hunter, you guys, Garrett, everybody. You already know if I missed you guys, it was a lot of people in the chat. I couldn't get to everybody. Thank you, Doug MPA, for the super chat, man. Thank you. Man, let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, I had one super chat, but thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. This is a more structured one, a little bit more structured. But man, yeah, thank you all, everybody tuning in. Thank you. Corey Holcomb's the go-to comedy, and I'm out. Facts, man.